And if anyone else joins in, they can just jump right in where we're at. Okay, welcome everyone. Good evening. 30 Days to Health with a Mindset Approach. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff tonight. I'm covering quite a few concepts. I'll tell you a bit about myself and a bit about a few different avenues that I'm involved in, and I'm hoping that you'll get inspired, get educated, and walk away with some new information. So a little bit about me. I'm a mom. I'm a thinking into results consultant. So I work with businesses, with individuals in their business, with career, with health, with life. It's a mindset aspect and a results changing program. So it really works in any area. And I'll share some exciting concepts from that tonight. I'm a health nut. So anyone who knows me just would know that about me for about probably almost 15 years actually. Bit of a health nut and a registered nutritional consulting practitioner, and Arbonne ambassador and district manager. I'll tell you a little bit about Arbonne if you're not familiar as we go on. Okay, so why are you here tonight? So you depending on why you came on or why you heard about this, you're maybe here to learn about some mindset concepts that change results. Hopefully you are, because I'm excited to share some. You may be interested in learning about my nutritional protocol, so I'm going to share some of my key tips. I get asked all the time, so I'm happy to share. And I'm going to share a little bit about the 30 Days to Health supplements that I really love and would love to share. So hopefully that covers why you're here. So a few tips while you're listening in. Grab a pen and paper if you'd like. You can take some notes. I'd suggest you turn off distractions, cell phones or TVs or things like that, just for the next hour or so you can listen in. Stay with me to the end if you can, and relax and enjoy. So about me. So here I am. I'm like I said, a health nut. So here I am. I like the outdoors. I love being near the water, riding my bike. There I am, doing a good chin up at the gym. I love that. It took me a long time to be able to do that. Now I just love them. Oops, wrong way. Sorry, my apologies. And then I mentioned I'm a mom. So here I am with my little baby boy and my husband. And as you can see, my big pregnant belly there at the gym. And it's interesting because some of the things I'm going to share tonight about mindset and habits, and my habit is to be active. That's natural. That's comfortable for me. That's what I like to do. It's not a challenge or a struggle to get around to it. So that's, for me, even during pregnancy, I enjoyed that. And I really like to help people get to a point where they enjoy health and nutrition and lifestyle. So what most people would never know to meet me. You would not know that I have multiple sclerosis. There I am with my little son. He was about, I think, 3 or 4 weeks old there. I do a walk usually every year. They have a MS fundraiser, and there we were when he was about 3 or 4 weeks old. Most people would never know this. I forget most of the time because I have managed my health for over 13 years through mindset, lifestyle, and health supplements. So about 13, 14 years ago now, I guess I did have a major attack, a major episode, I guess you call it, where I was paralyzed on the right side. I lost functionality. And MS is typically a degenerative condition. I go to my neurologist every couple of years. I get the scan. Apparently I still have MS, but I don't have any physical symptoms of it. And he's constantly impressed with the way I've managed it naturally. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you do want to chat with me about that separately, I'm happy to help. But everything I share today is really about what I do, and I believe it really can help with any health goal. So a bit about my business background. So I worked actually in the corporate world for about 10 years. So I actually have a business degree, and I worked in marketing and strategy and analysis, a few different areas in the corporate world. But because of my health experience, I developed a big passion to help others with their health. So I studied and researched and did a lot of courses kind of on the side. And when I was in the corporate world, I was just teaching that part-time. And what I decided to do after about 10 years was to really delve in full-time And as you can see my excitement in this photo, I was very excited to be able to really teach others about health and nutrition and lifestyle on a daily basis. So I was so excited. But 2 years into my health business, I'll be honest with you, I was struggling and I had so many answered questions. And my business was struggling, but I was really, honestly, I was also struggling with the results of my clients. And this was the unanswered questions. I couldn't figure out why had I been able to change my health habits so dramatically and quickly and permanently, but most people didn't seem to be able to do the same. So even when I shared with all my enthusiasm and excitement some, health tips and information, and they would really motivate at the beginning, but most people really weren't able to easily, or not regardless of easily, they weren't able to really permanently change a lot of those health habits, regardless of what seemed to be motivation at the beginning. And I also really pondered, this is from the business side, why had I been so successful in my previous career and in many other areas of my life, but all of a sudden I seem to be struggling in my own business. So these questions about my health clients and their commitment, and then my business results, seemed to like two separate questions, right? And that's how I felt at the time, until I found the answer and I realized the answer to those two questions are the same. So I'm super excited to share a bit about that. So what I discovered shocked me. Why doesn't everybody know this? I began to study. So I still study every single day under one of the top coaches in the world on personal development and success, Bob Proctor. You may or may not be familiar with him. He's about 82 now, and he has been studying and teaching people about getting results and success in life for over 50 years. So I am so blessed and grateful that I stumbled across this, which obviously was not a coincidence, but I stumbled across this information, and I'm now able to train and work with him very closely. We do about 3 or 4 times a year, we do full 5-day trainings. I also was able to help facilitate an event last month and coach others with some of this material in Toronto. So I'm so excited about this information. Because I was so excited about what I had learned and what I had discovered and answers to these questions, I decided to become a certified Thinking into Results consultant. So that's what I became certified in with the Bob Proctor Gallagher Institute. And I coach businesses and individuals to dramatically and permanently improve their results in any area. So like I said, I've kind of figured out that those questions about my clients getting health results and my business not getting the financial or business results seemed like two completely separate things. But I discovered that this information really crosses off any area of life. So I was thrilled. So this new thinking also led me to something else. Now, this is a bit of a side note, but I really feel like I want to share this here because it's interesting. I had been in retail. Well, I owned a retail store, like the health store, but the corporate job was for a retail organization. So I had been kind of in retail for about 12, 13 years. And retail has its place. My parents have been in retail. They still are. They love it. They've owned businesses. It has its place. It just, for me, wasn't the right fit. So I decided to actually leave my retail business. And it was an easy decision because I had this information. I knew where I was going. I knew where I wanted to go. And I could have used this to really shift my business if I wanted to stay. And I did actually use it at first to shift some of the results, but I knew that I wasn't meant to be there. So it was really exciting. I was able to leave my business and really start to do consulting as my primary focus. But I really love health and nutrition and supplements, and I've been using them for a long time. So that's how I fell into Arbonne. So like I said, I've been in the industry. I am very familiar with companies and the products and ingredients, and I really loved Arbonne's products. So they have over 400 products. I'm going to share a few today towards the end about some of the nutritional supplements because that's what I really love. But they have like skincare products. Really, the ingredient policy is so clean. They're eliminating the thousands of chemicals that are commonly in in products within North America. And oops, I'm just going to mute. I'm just going to mute a couple clients. Just one quick moment. Bear with me just for a second, so I can make sure we don't have background noise for anyone. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, so like I said, I just really, I fell into this. It's a network marketing business, so it's not a retail business. So it's definitely different from my traditional business model, but I really love the products and I use them, and I love the ability to still have a health business, but just from the comfort of my home. So that's how I fell into Arbonne. So would you like to learn a bit about all these mindset concepts, all this exciting information that I discovered? I can't see too many of your cameras there, so hopefully you guys can all see me still. Usually I can see more cameras of other people, so I can't really see your response, but I'm going to assume that you say yes, that you would like to learn what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to start with really sharing some of these different things, some of these key mindset pieces that answered some of my questions. So there's two pieces of the puzzle. When I do in-person seminars, I often have two chairs on two different sides of the room. So there's two things you need to know. You need to know where you currently are, which is the results you're currently getting in any area. Today we're here, I believe a lot of us are here for health. So if you'd like to kind of think about your health, you can think about your health for where you currently are. But this applies to most of my clients, actually all of my clients also have a professional or corporate goal as well, or business goal of some sort. So you can just think about any area of your life where your current results you're getting, and then where you are going or your goals. You need to know these two things. You need to know where you're going, your goals, and you need to know where you are, why you're getting the current results. Without these two things, you're liable to get lost. With these two pieces of information, you really have the power to make some big shifts. So, in that case, if it's so simple and so obvious, all I need to know is these two things, then why are so many people stuck? Why would we stay in our current results if I know I want to go over to those new results? Why are so many people stuck in any area of life, not just in health? This is really common in career, in their income, in their relationships, in health, in life, and anywhere. But really, why are so many people stuck? Well, it's because two things, but the big thing that holds us back is our paradigms. So I'm going to talk a little bit about paradigms today and just explain a bit about what they are and how they work in our life. But you need to know these two things. So you need to really have a clearly defined goal, and you really need to understand what we call your paradigms, because that's what holds you exactly where you are. So if we want to start with goals, how do we set goals? So how many of you, if you want to use health as an example, but whatever area you came on to listen to, put that, whatever that reason is in your mind, how many of you have a clearly defined goal for your life? A goal for your, like I said, either your health or a goal for your life in other areas. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, like next month I want to go on vacation. I'm talking about a goal, a dream, a vision, a really big purpose for your life, something that you really want to achieve. So I'd like you to think about that for a minute, and if you are taking some notes, feel free to write some things down as I walk you through a bit about goals. So like I said, we're talking about big goals, big goals. So there's three types of goals I'm going to talk to you about. So there's an A-type goal, and this is what Bob shares. This is what I share as a consultant to my clients, and I'm giving some of this to you today because it's really exciting, and I just think people need to know this. So the first type of goal is an A-type goal. An A-type goal is what you know how to do, or you've already done it. You've done it in the past, and you're just doing it again. So an A-type goal I would really call more of a task, not so much a goal, because you've either done it or you totally know how to do it. So it's more of a task on the task list. This picture here just has a car. If you have a Mazda and you're going to buy a new Mazda, I just wouldn't consider that a goal. You can still do that. It's just considered more of a task rather than focusing it as a big goal for your life. So the next type of goal is a B type goal. The B type goal is what you think you know how to do. So if this happens and this happens and this happens and I do this and I do that, if we're talking about health, you know, if I go to the gym these days of the week, if I have my, you know, eat more vegetables, if I stop doing this habit, and you put a plan together, yes, I think I can do that. All right. So how many of us have done that, first of all? B goals is where most people stop, and it's where most people fall off. A B-type goal is dangerous. It doesn't inspire and motivate us. It doesn't get us excited to put our feet on the ground and say, I can't wait till I get there because I'm so excited. So what we're really after is a C-type goal. The C-type goal is your wants or fantasy. That's where you have to use your imagination. You have to dream, you have to think big, you have to say, what does my life look like? What do I want? Take off all limiting beliefs, all limiting thoughts, any reason why you can't, and just, for a minute, just say, what if I could do anything and have anything and be the person I want to be? What does that look like? What is my really big C goal? So this can include, so the way I'm just talking here as well, this includes like your vision. If anyone's heard of vision boards, you've probably, if you haven't heard of them, you've probably, if you haven't done one, you've probably heard of the concept. I really encourage all my clients to do vision boards. But this is where you're gonna have a big, your vision kind of plays into this, and your big C goal might be one big chunk out of your whole life vision. So your C goals really cause you to stretch. But if you can imagine, this is what's gonna get you excited to put your feet on the ground in the morning. It's gonna be excited to say, I don't care about all the reasons why I can't, because I'm so excited and determined and I can't wait to do it. So for me, with my MS, at the time I didn't understand these concepts. And this is the thing, when I was really successful in my previous career and I was able to, you know, overcome MS, I didn't know this. I was what Bob would call an unconscious competent. I was doing some of this stuff and I just didn't realize, which is why I couldn't replicate it in other areas of my life, or I couldn't teach others. Now I understand how it works, and I can implement it in all areas of my life, and I can help teach it and share it to others. So for me, with my MS, and I'm not preaching that I cure all conditions by any means. It's very, very individual. But for me, I had a goal that I was going to completely heal. I was basically paralyzed on the one side. I decided in my mind that there was no chance of error. And again, I'm not saying this is for everyone. I have to be careful when I share this story, but that was what it was for me. And regardless of physical function, I was just committed to live my happiest, healthiest life. And I was going to be happy and healthy. I was young, and I was just going to continue on and live my life. So I'm very grateful that I had that positive outlook, because I know a lot of times people will unfortunately have the more negative side. But because I had this vision and I saw myself as that person, I was willing to do whatever it takes. We are able to do what we want in life. We're able to get those C goals, but we have to be willing. And when you're willing, then, you know, that's when you block off all those obstacles. You kick them out. You say, no big deal. I can get through all these things. I'm going to have obstacles, but I'm willing to find ways around. So that's a little bit about C goals. From a health perspective, for some people, you know, I have one client, their goal was to do a fitness competition when she was 40. So that is crazy. That's amazing. That's exciting. And she had never really done much with fitness or anything like that. So that's a really big jump and a big accomplishment. And she did do it, and she looked unbelievable. But for you know, some people that would not motivate you at all. So it has to be something that you personally want. For others, it might be from a health perspective. It might be just to be able to run up and down the stairs and chase your children or your grandchildren, or be really energetic on a consistent, long-term, everyday basis, not a temporary solution. So you gotta really figure out if it's a health thing you're after, it has to be big and bold and exciting. And there has to be an emotional aspect to it. You have to be emotionally attached. If you're not willing, if you're not so emotional that you are just bursting with joy, then it's not big enough. So it has to be something that you have never done, you don't know how to do, but you really want it so badly and you're so emotionally excited about it. So I spent a ton of time with people on this, so I'm just kind of sharing the key concepts, but I really hope this inspires you to think differently and to really think about all areas of your life. Where can you put in some C goals that you may not yet have? So I love sharing quotes from famous people because everyone believes famous people because they're famous, and so they must be true. Will Smith here, he says, being realistic is the most common path to mediocrity. And it's true. It's true. We get so stuck in those A and B goals of being realistic. I have to have a SMART goal. I have to have a plan. I know exactly how I'm going to do it. The most successful people in the world did not know how they were going to do it. They just knew they were going to do it and they wanted it badly enough. So we really want to make sure that we step outside our current thought process. Okay, so I kind of mentioned about goals. I mentioned you have to have two things. You have to have a clearly defined goal, a written, clearly defined goal, and it has to be very important to you. So why aren't we achieving our goals? So that's one reason, that's one aspect, is you don't have a clearly defined written goal, or it's not important enough. So that's two things that holds us back from achieving our goals. But the real thing that holds us back is once we have that, our paradigms. Our paradigms, that holds us back. Our paradigms are like a big, big magnet. Our paradigms are our habitual way of being. They're how we see the world. They're basically, we get up in the morning, we just do things automatically, we don't even realize. I have so many people who I've given a health tip to, a recommendation, and they were excited and they heard me, it resonated, they said, yes, I'm totally going to do that. Sometimes they don't do it because they just don't feel like it. But honestly, half the time they just forget. They literally are so habitual. We're habitual creatures. They just do their normal thing and they forget we even had that conversation. So, our habits and our habitual way of being are really, really strong. Paradigms are a few other things. So I'm going to share another picture and I'm going to stay on this slide for a couple of minutes because I really want to get into this. So this picture is a girl and she's in a box. So that is a good way to describe your paradigms. It's the way you see the world. It is since you've been, from when you were born, how you were raised, your parents or caregivers, your teachers, different things that happened in your life, if you were bullied or picked on, or as you got older, if there were different, traumatic situations or people let you down, whatever, different things that happened in our life, different jobs, different experiences, different individuals have created our paradigms. That's our belief system, the way we view the world, the way we view ourselves. And it keeps us exactly in that box. And I had a client just a couple of days ago, I love this. She said, she posted on Facebook, I think. She said, instead of trying to view your, look out or think outside the box, why don't we think as if there was no box? How exciting is that? That's awesome. Let's just remove the box altogether and say the whole world is available to me and anything, anything is possible. And I just want to, speaking of that, I really want to make sure that I share one piece. When we're talking about these big dreams and goals, if it's financial goal or life goals, we really need to understand that when our life improves, we're improving the lives of everyone around us. When we become better people or become more, we can do more, we can have more, and we can give more. We can give more financially, we can give more time, we can give more of our energy, we can give more of ourselves. So we really want to understand that this is a whole cycle of improving things much bigger than just ourselves, but improving ourselves will improve everyone around us. So back to paradigms. So what are some of the key paradigms that hold us back? So one of the big ones that I talk about all the time is self-image. So your self-image is a paradigm. The way you see yourself. Do you see yourself as a leader or a follower? Do you see yourself as a healthy person or as an unhealthy person? Do you see yourself as, smart and intelligent, or do you see yourself as a failure? The way you see yourself has been programmed by all those things that happened into your life to create who you are. You might even see yourself as a successful person, but or you might consciously think that, but you may have this deep-rooted things that are something down there that you have to really dig in and realize something in there is holding us back. Self-image affects every single person. Even if you have a really good self-image, it can always be improved. So I spend a lot of time, I just love to share this concept of self-image. It's something that does take some time to dig in and ask and learn about yourself, but it's really important to dig in. And self-image is different from self-confidence. You may be an outwardly confident person, but you may have a self-image, something holding us back with our self-image. And that's so, so key for health goals. If we've got health goals, we have to become the person we want to become in our mind. We have to become that healthy person, that energetic person, that happy person, that person who chooses vegetables because they want to, that person who says no to unhealthy things because I want to, because that's who I am. You have to become that person first in your mind, and then it'll pull you towards that in your reality. So another thing is comfort zones. Another paradigm is, comfort zones. Bob actually calls it bondage. I like to also call it familiar zones, because most people aren't that comfortable. If you are comfortable, then you wouldn't have any desire to change or have a new goal. So it's not really the comfort zone. It's just might be temporarily comfortable or more comfortable versus the change, making the change. It might seem less painful to stay than it does to actually change. So this idea of bondage, familiar zone, comfort zone, that is our paradigms. Those are paradigms. They feel comfortable because they're habits, but they may not really be what we want. It might just be, again, our habitual way of being. Another one is fear. So fear, the fear of the unknown, the fear of failure, with health goals, not even health, with any goal, with anything in life, but definitely with health. How many times have people taken a step forward to try something and then fall back, and try something and then quit, and then try one more time and then quit, try something else and quit, try something else and quit. All this knowledge, have all this knowledge. I know if it's for health as an example, you may have all this knowledge of what to do, but my results are not showing that knowledge. And I really see this a lot in the workplace. You could have someone with so many designations and degrees and have all this knowledge, but yet they're not producing the results nearly as much as you would expect based on the knowledge they have. So this fear of failure really overtakes knowledge. So even if we have the knowledge of what to do or how to do it, or we tried a whole bunch of different times, we have such a strong fear of failure. A lot of the times we're scared of what others are going to think. If I fail, what are they going to think of me? And that goes back to self-image again. So much stuff really goes back to self-image. But if I'm scared to fail, is it because I don't want other people to be disappointed in me? I don't want people to say, oh, you've tried everything and you failed again, or, not everyone's going to resonate with what I'm sharing with this example, but it is really a common thing, is this fear of failure and an association to what others around us or others in our life may feel. And when we're trying to go for something big, when we're going for a big goal, when you're trying to dream in your head who this person is that is achieving this new life that you have, currently you're the only person who has that image because you created it in your imagination. So the other people around you, not everyone's going to be able to associate with this vision that you have, and then not everyone's going to support you. Some people will, for sure, and some won't. So you just have to be really strong with where you're going to overcome some of those fears or perceptions or self-limiting beliefs. So another thing I hear is that people are comfortable, and this kind of goes back to comfort zone a little bit, but they're happy where they are and they don't really want to make a big change. They're okay, no big deal. I'm happy with my results in my life and everything's okay. And that's okay. don't get me wrong, you know, hopefully we get to a comfortable point, but realistically, we should always be trying to improve. We're either going forward or we're going backwards. So we always want to be working towards something bigger. Even if we're happy, we hopefully are. I spend a lot of time talking about gratitude. We want to be happy where we are, but we always want to be working towards improvement, because like I said, when you improve your life, you're improving everyone's life around you. The last thing I might just touch on here with these paradigms, and I mentioned it, is the whole concept of habits. All of your habits, every habit you have, good, bad, are all paradigms. It's all part of your paradigms. And like I said, you might have good ones, so don't get rid of the good ones. But if you have habits that are not serving you, you have to understand that that is a paradigm. And your paradigm is a deep-rooted subconscious thought. So I'm not going to share the diagram here today just because I want to move on. But I do share this diagram that shows a concept of your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. We all have it. Our conscious mind is where we see, hear, smell, taste, touch. That's where we come up with ideas. That's where we consciously make decisions, consciously see things. Most people live on their conscious mind. But your subconscious mind, that is where your paradigms are. That's where all your habits are. That's where your beliefs are. That's where your self-image is. All of your results in your life in any area are due to what comes out of your paradigms, because your paradigms create your actions. So we just need to know that in order to change your results, we have to reprogram that subconscious mind. That's how we change our paradigms, is by reprogramming the subconscious mind. Hopefully I'm not sounding too technical here, trying to condense it into a short period. The exciting thing is to know that we can do this. We can create clear goals. We can change our paradigms. It just requires a specific process and a lot of repetition, but it is absolutely possible. And I've done it, and I've seen people do it, and I've seen clients do it, and Bob's been teaching it around the world for 50 years, so very exciting. Okay, let us move on. So how do I do it? So I'm going to share, hopefully you're okay with this. I wanted to share this really quickly right now because I've done this before, and people were asking me later, so I thought I'd just throw this in quickly. I'd love to tell you a little bit about thinking into results. I'm just going to share really quickly what it is, and then we're going to move into more of the knowledge about the health aspects specifically. Hopefully you got some excitement there and inspiration, and hope that you know it's possible to change. So what thinking into results is, briefly, it's just, this is what I teach, sorry. This is the program that I teach. It's a 3 or 6 month program. All my clients actually doing 6 months, but it's just a system that can help you achieve all these results in your life. We go through and it'll clarify that goal with absolute precision. So we spend a lot of time clarifying the goal, and then we work over time through repetition, through a process, to install it at that deep subconscious level of your mind and help change those paradigms. That's why we do daily lessons, worksheets and activities, live weekly sessions with me. So I meet with you guys every week, and a dynamic support group. So that's all I'm going to share. I don't want to make it sound like too much of a sales pitch. I just wanted to make sure I shared what it is that I do, where these concepts come from, and how the daily program kind of works. And I'll share at the end my contact if you wanted to hear any more or learn more about that later. So let's move on. Let's talk about health goals. So I'm happy to share, like I said at the beginning, my nutrition protocol and some health supplements. So I'm condensing my nutrition protocol into a couple of key slides, and hopefully you find, hopefully if you have questions about this, because I'm really condensing it into my key points, please feel free to contact me. Again, I'll share my contact info towards the end, or if you know my contact, just let me know if you do have any questions about this. So I have on this picture, we'll start on the top right, a lovely picture of fruits and vegetables. No surprise, every health expert ever will tell you to eat lots of colored fruits and veggies, particularly vegetables, because they're lower in sugar. Fruit are good as well, but just moderating the quantity due to the amount of sugar. So I do eat at least like 3 to 5 times a day. vegetables, and then I have fruit usually a couple times a day. Serving sizes can vary depending on what you're looking at. I usually try to have quite an abundance of it. I'll share a picture of what my plate looks like in a moment. On the left side here at the top, there's some nuts, walnuts, almonds, cashews, and some avocado. Those are healthy fats. I do have actually quite a bit of healthy fat in my day. And so I'm not a big supporter of the low fat, fat-free, typically processed foods that have that label tend to have more preservatives or further additives to make them still palatable while being fat-free. And I mean, I definitely will avoid trans fats. Trans fats have absolutely no place in our bodies. So absolutely read labels, make sure you don't eat any trans fats. And saturated fat, we do need some, but just moderating the amount. So these nuts and seeds and avocado, those are examples of like omega. They typically have a bit more omega-3 fats. And those are the kinds of fats our bodies need. We need those fats. Our brain is about 70 to 80% fat, and our joints need those fats to lubricate the body. Heart health. So I really do like to consume, not huge portions, but I do have some healthy fats a few times a day. Another thing that can fit in here is fish oil or olive oil or coconut oil. I didn't put photos of those, but those are all their examples of healthy fats. So I would have that a few times a day. Exact portions per person is, going to be unique. And I have a couple people, I do meal planning, but I'm not really offering that a lot right now. So I'm happy to refer you to someone if you do want to get really specific meal plans. But this is an overview of what the content that I recommend. So the bottom side there, that whole row on the bottom, I've got eggs, I've got some chicken, I've got some salmon. So I really recommend protein. These are not plant-based proteins. You can absolutely have plant-based options as well, like beans and legumes or tempeh or something, which is a fermented soy. But with animal proteins, I really do recommend trying to get organic or at least naturally raised, just trying to minimize the hormones and antibiotics. We are really bombarded with toxins in our environment, and really try to minimize in the animal products some of those hormones and antibiotics. So protein supplies essential amino acids. These essential amino acids our bodies do not make. We have to consume them. We have to consume them for these food products through beans and legumes, or plant-based, or sorry, not just plant-based, but protein powders, which I'll show you my yummy favorite one in a second. But protein powders that have all the amino acids. You do need to consume those. Your body does require them. That's why they're called essential. I forgot to mention, but the same thing with those fats at the top, the oil, the olive, the avocado and the nuts, flax oil, olive oil, fish oil, those omega-3 fats are also essential. They're essential fatty acids because our body needs them. We don't make them, and it's really essential for optimal health. So protein, I do try to eat a few times throughout the day. I usually have at least 1 or 2 shakes a day just to manage the amount of protein I'm getting throughout the day, because I usually eat about 4 or 5 times, something moderate size. And protein helps keep you full longer as well. It takes a bit longer to digest. It helps to regulate blood sugar. So I love protein. I think it's amazing. I definitely include it in a regular part of my diet. So the next piece I wanted to share is there's my food exchanges. So this is a touchy topic for some people. For others, they're totally on board and totally aware, no big deal. But I made these food exchanges about 13 years ago. So it's totally natural for me now. It's my new paradigm, because it would be hard for me to eat those things because my habit is to not eat them. So that's what we're trying to get to through all these things I talked about with changing our paradigms and having those clearly defined goals, is to shift those paradigms so that our new habits become automatic. So for me, because I had a really big episode, a big incident, I was very motivated. I worked with lots and lots of different natural health practitioners, nutritionists, chiropractors, all sorts of health experts, and did a lot of research on my own. And that's when I discovered the connection, a few things with wheat and dairy. That's what these 2 pictures are. So this is, again, I'm sharing this because this is my personal mindset. It's definitely my personal recommendation, but it has to be an individual an individual thing. I'll just share the reasons that I have eliminated for the most part. So wheat, there was a correlation with MS. That black and white, that was the first reason, was there is some correlation. It wasn't like guaranteed at the time, although there's a lot more research now that shows the correlation. But at the time, 13 years ago, there was some correlation with MS and wheat and dairy. So that was a reason enough for me to say, damn, I'm out. Because I was, like I said, I had a committed attitude. There was no chance of error. So I was willing to do whatever it took. And the other thing is digestibility. So it can be quite inflammatory in the body. You know, it can, the digestion is the first piece, sorry, that I mentioned, that I had some digestive issues, you know, indigestion, bloating, gas, all these different discomforts. So that was another thing, that elimination of these can really help to alleviate, particularly wheat, but it depends on the individual. Some people respond more to dairy elimination. And then that inflammation piece. So joints, joint pain, joint inflammation, so common. Arthritis, there is such a big correlation with wheat products. It's crazy. So it really does create this inflammatory response in the body for any inflammatory condition. And then brain fog, there's a, you know, there's a book called, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank, sorry, but there was a grain brain, I think it's called, yeah, grain brain. So that was not even just wheat, but particularly wheat. And then wheat belly, you know, there's a lot of different doctors who've actually written now books and education around this concept. But again, for me, my initial reason was because of the MS and the digestion. Now that I know more, I just prefer to minimize it or eliminate it as much as possible. So I replaced that with sweet potatoes, oatmeal. Oatmeal can have a slight bit of gluten if you're overly sensitive, but for the most part, it's okay. Quinoa, rice, there's rice crackers here. You can get even rice pasta. You can now get bean pasta. So I've seen some, actually I get some with my son, lentil noodles or chickpea noodles. So it's actually like a pasta noodle, but it's made from beans. That's the only ingredient, is beans and water. So there are a lot of alternatives nowadays that are options. And then dairy there as well. If you are going to have dairy, I do have sometimes a little bit of yogurt, like plain yogurt, because it's got the natural probiotics in it. With dairy, again, I really like to recommend trying to get organic or like hormone or antibiotic free, just to try to minimize some of those those hormones and the antibiotics that we're getting. We get enough toxins through our like our body care products. If you're not using clean ones, you're absorbing that through your skin, the environment. Stress can kind of cause things to ruffle around inside. So I just try to minimize hormones and antibiotics from any plant-based product. So if you are eating any dairy, do try to do that. And the next level up would be just eliminating or minimizing dairy. And that I replace often with almond milk or coconut milk, my most common ones. Another thing with dairy, a couple of reasons that to be aware of. So again, for me, MS, there was a correlation, a little bit of correlation was all I needed to know. So that was easy enough for me to eliminate. But with dairy, it's very mucus forming. So if you've got a cold or kids have a cold and they're having milk and yogurt, that is just creating so much phlegm and congestion in the system. It really, like inflammation and like asthma can sometimes from either wheat or dairy can be correlated because of the inflammation as well as the mucus forming. Sometimes skin conditions, eczema, psoriasis, either way, wheat or dairy, they can really come out through the skin. So just being cautious of these things and being prepared. Now, I'm telling you this, and like I said, it's if you don't already know this, then this might be new information. If you already know this, then cool, just a new little bonus. You might be motivated in this moment to say, oh my goodness, all those reasons make sense. I think I need to reduce or eliminate this and just try it out. We got to go back to the mindset, because you can be motivated today, but our paradigms are so strong. We have to really focus on where we're going and understand how to make those mindset shifts to make that happen, to really be prepared and prepare ourselves for that shift. Okay, so that's that for now. Leave that for now. The next piece I wanted to share just about the nutrition side is filling your plate. So when you next meal you have, if you don't already do this, I'm going to write this down, maybe take a little note. I'm going to highly recommend you start your plate with veggies. Fill it with veggies, plan your meals, or if you're eating out or you're doing something, start with veggies. Fill half your plate with veggies. It's so funny. I have examples of people I've told this to, and they were like, yeah, I can do that for sure, no problem. And then literally forgot. Like sometimes they didn't forget and they decided not to. But honestly, sometimes they forgot because they're so habitual. They're so used to filling the carbohydrate on the plate first, like the pasta or the rice or the potato. So you really have to be cognizant of it every single day if you want to make some shifts like this. So fill your plate half through with veggies. There can be a little fruit there too if you're using if you want to have fruit. Good fats, that's like those avocados or the nuts, or you might have some oil or something that you might just be drizzling onto your meal, like if it's a salad, for example. The carbs, that's like the sweet potato, quinoa, rice, or rice pasta. So you can see it's a smaller portion of the plate. And then protein is another piece there. If you're having a shake, like a meal replacement shake, you're going to have a scoop of protein. You may put some berries in if you want. You may have some spinach thrown in there, some healthy fats. You can definitely make I have a shake, like I said, once or twice a day, and I kind of make that into a shake form so it wouldn't cover a plate, but the same kind of mixed concepts make sense. So hopefully that's just a good way to look at it. That actually comes from the Arbonne health guide, but it's really aligned with what I recommend. So, if I eat healthy, do you recommend supplements? Well, I wonder. You might ask, because I did own a health supplement store for 3 years. But before that, I have been using supplements for over 13 years. So yes, I do still recommend supplements, even if you eat healthy. Our soil is so depleted of nutrients. I think it's like 80% less nutrients than 50 years ago. I should get the exact number just while I'm sharing statistics, but it's so depleted. It is really hard to get the nutrients our bodies need for optimal health through diet alone. Secondly, it's also just physically difficult often to fill in, to plan our day, not just the food nutrients itself, even if we did have enough nutrients to actually plan the variety of foods and the right quantities of those things. It's just quite difficult to actually get it through. And then the other big thing is the environment. Like we are so bombarded with, like I said, toxins. Our bodies really, our liver, our colon, we really do have this kind of toxic burden. So it's difficult to get to really cleanse ourselves out naturally. So I do recommend some supplements. It can be personalized for sure to each individual based on your situation. I'm going to just share some of my favorite ones, some of the ones that I currently am using every day, and it's the Arbonne 30 Days to Health. So hopefully you're okay if I share some of these things. I know some of you wanted, or some of you came in specifically to hear about these, so happy to share. So the 30 Days to Health supplements. So there's a few different items that I'm going to touch on really quickly. The 7-day cleanse, detox tea, meal replacement powder, fiber, energy, B12 packs, and omega-3. Omega-3, my favorite. So I'm just going to go through each one of them. Like I said, Arbonne has over 400 products. There's a ton of skincare and topical products, and they have a lot of other nutritional products as well. I'm just going to kind of share some of these key staples that I have regularly in my day, and that I think really are some of the best ones to add and make those daily habits a little bit easier to get some of those nutrients in. So the first one, do I need a cleanse? I would say yes, most people do. I've been doing herbal cleanses for, I don't know how many years. I don't know, actually, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, some long period of time I've been doing herbal cleanses, gentle herbal cleanses. So I don't really like something that's overly harsh, but this 7-day cleanse here, so it's a liquid, so I really love that it's a little liquid packet. You just have it at night with some water and ideally some extra fiber as well. And it just helps to cleanse out the liver, the colon, intestines. It's got some dandelion and milk thistle and a few other different detoxifying herbs. It's gentle for the most part. I haven't actually heard examples of people running to the toilet, but everyone's different, so I don't want to make any black and white statements, but it is so valuable. I would do it personally. I probably do a cleanse maybe 4 times a year. This one's gentle enough. You can do it more frequently than that if you'd like. And then there's the tea, the detox tea. So that it's just, Arbonne only has one tea. I love tea. I have a whole cupboard of tea. I got lots of herbal teas, all different kinds. I love the detox tea. I love the taste of it, to be honest, but I know it's you know, everyone, depending on your preference with herbal teas. This one's really good. It's got some of those same ingredients. It's got a little bit of milk thistle and dandelion, which is really good for anti-aging, but also good for detoxing liver. It's got some peppermint, so peppermint helps with that digestion. Peppermint's also a lowering herb. So if you, just a tip, if you have a fever, or your kids have fever, just having even just a plain peppermint tea, or even having tea leaves around, really good way to kind of help bring down both body temperature if there's a fever, or that digestion issue. It's kind of a calming, lowering herb. And this tea also has a little bit of chamomile, so it is kind of a gentle, calming tea. Won't put you to sleep or anything, but it's just a nice, calming tea with no caffeine. So refill on nutrients. So once we've cleansed our system, sorry, those teas you can have every day forever, pretty much. So the teas are very gentle. The 7-day cleanse you might just want to do every couple months, or whatever whatever frequency you would like, and I can help coach you with some tips on that if you would like. But yes, so once you've cleansed yourself out, you want to refill on nutrients. So you can absolutely do these at the same time. You don't have to cleanse and then refill on nutrients. You can do them at the same time, but the refilling on nutrients you'll want to do probably forever, like long term. So a couple of things that I'm going to share. The meal replacement protein. So that's just the protein. They have a protein powder, and then they have a meal replacement. They both have 20 vitamins and minerals. It's a pea-based protein, but there's a couple other plant-based protein sources in there. And so it's really a good complete amino acid protein profile. So you can get all those amino acids I mentioned in there. And then it has those vitamins and minerals that are going to be replenished. The next one down is the fiber boost. So that's just an extra scoop of fiber that our bodies can use. If you have the meal replacement, it does have fiber in it, so you could always start with less than a full scoop if you're new to fiber. The next one is greens powder. So the greens powder is actually an extra item. We can chat separately if you'd like. It doesn't come automatically with all of the Arbonne 30 Days to Health packages. It can be an option, but it depends on what you choose. The greens powder, I've had greens powder for like many, many years, probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. But I have it every day. So it's just a scoop. You've got a wide variety of different green vegetables as well as sea vegetables. So greens powders, again, I do eat lots of vegetables and fruit, but I really like the extra boost of nutrients that greens, and it gives you just a little energy lift, a little uplift, and you know you're getting a good boost of greens. You just mix it with water, or you can mix it in the shake. It does taste a little bit like greens, but it's got some stevia in it, so I don't mind the taste with just water. Some people mix it with a little apple juice or something. So the next one I want to share, just a few products I'm going to share, but is the Energy Fizz Sticks. So I love these. They taste like totally delicious. They're really awesome for that afternoon slump. So I often have one in the morning and then maybe have another in the afternoon. Sometimes I'll only have one and just have it in the afternoon. But it's got some green tea and guarana, so it has a natural stimulant, a little bit of caffeine, but it's a gentle lift. It's not a spike and crash like a coffee or a straight sugar source. So it does have a little uplifting boost. It has some ginseng, which is good for mind, mental focus. And then it has a number of the B vitamins. So it really, those B vitamins also really help with sustained energy and mood. So I love it. It's easy to put in your purse, or my husband keeps it at the office. Take it with you, just a little packet of powder, you mix it in with water. So very handy little nutrient boost. And then the omega-3. I think this is the last one I'm going to share, but the omega-3, if I could only pick one product in the whole world and get every human to take it, it would be omega-3s. I love omega-3. Our body needs it. It is so important for so many bodily functions. So I mentioned a couple of points here, brain fog and inflammation, but it's really for so many things. So I have MS, so I started to study what helps that. Like I said, over 13 years ago, I need those omega-3 fats in my brain. So it's really important, but it helps with Alzheimer's, dementia, any kind of memory, mood. They've even used it, actually, they've studied it for bipolar depression, like for so different things, different mood, memory, focus related things, heart health, so cardiovascular health, all sorts of heart health conditions. I know a few of you have probably heard me talk about omegas, so this might be a repeat, but I'm just so excited. I love it. I have to tell you. So heart health, all those cardiovascular health reasons, joints, inflammation, really important, arthritis or any kind of inflammatory condition or in the body. So I really, really love to supplement with omega-3. Arbonne is, I don't know if I mentioned, but it's a completely plant-based company. So they're couple things on just side note, they're completely gluten-free and completely dairy-free because they're vegan, which is very important to me. So all their products, including their skincare products, who would have known you could get gluten through your skin, but you can. So they're completely gluten-free and vegan, but because they're vegan, they don't have any fish source omega-3. So their omega-3 is a sea algae as well as a flax oil. It's a unique form of sea algae, so it's higher in the DHA, which is one of the key nutrients that we need from omega-3. I do also like fish oil, because fish oil is, you have to be careful with the fish oil. Make sure you get a purified, clean brand that they've eliminated mercury and toxins. But just so you know, those are the kind of different options. There's a fish oil source, which Arbonne won't have because they don't have any fish or animal products. Or there's plant-based ones such as this. And this is one of the best ones I've found because it has that unique sea algae. So it is a higher percent potency of omega-3. So there's my little rant on omega-3s. The last thing that comes with the 30 days to health, it does come with this support guide. So I love this. It's so important when you're trying to do health program or health change or, supplements and nutritional foods and changes. Having a support tool is very helpful. So there are some meal plans in here. There's a spot where you enter your goals, where you enter in what's going to hold you back so you can prepare for it. This is where I would really encourage people to be big on their goals and make sure they're really going for what they want. But just so you know, this resource does exist, and it's an option to really help with the program as well. Okay, so is 30 days enough? Let me just check the time. Oh my gosh, it's almost 8:30, getting close. We're almost at the end. Thank you for sticking through. So is 30 days enough? Well, no surprise. If you really want to make change in your life, you need to go deeper. If you want different results, you need to ignite change at the level where results are created in the first place. You need to change your mind. So no, 30 days is not enough in total. If you only do 30 days of health change, you're only going to get 30 days of results, and then you're going to go back to the old way. So it is very important that we focus and our mind is seeing a lifetime. 30 days, I do 30-day challenges with my client, with my Thinking into Results clients all the time. It is really important to stick to something every day for 30 days. That is the repetition, that is the beginning of a transition towards habits. But we have to plan for more than 30 days. We have to plan if we're going to change our health goals and we're going to change our path and our habits and our behaviors. We have to put in your mind much longer. But I love having a support option that has a 30-day pinpoint to it, because that allows people to feel a bit more comfortable jumping in and trying it for 30 days. But I just want to encourage people, when you're doing a shift, you're always thinking long term, thinking that this is going to be a change for your life, not just temporary. So the key thing, so I've talked about your goals, your paradigms, I've given you some knowledge, some nutrition, some supplements, some ideas. The real thing that people need to do, the only way to change results in your life, everything else I've said doesn't matter until you make a decision. Now, I like to say there's a different type of decision. There's making a decision and there's making a committed decision. When you make a committed decision, you're willing to overtake any obstacles. And there will be obstacles. Our paradigms are so strong. Our circumstances, our situations, things come up all the time. We have to know that when we make a committed decision, it doesn't matter that I didn't sleep well tonight, I'm still going to go to the gym. Some days you might make a choice consciously to let your body rest. So I'm not too pushy on that, but you just really need to know that, you can't let your circumstances become an excuse all the time. You have to really make that committed decision when you're changing your health, when you're changing your career, when you're changing your relationships, your life, your income. You have to make a committed decision. successful people, it is known, successful people, the top successful people in the world, make decisions quickly and stick to them. Whether they're the right decision or not, they make the decision quickly and stick to them, and they stick it till they work it through. And then they only change decisions slowly, if at all. So you make the decision quickly and stick to it. If you are going to change a decision, you have to really think it through. What usually happens is the opposite. We take forever to make a decision. By the time we've made the decision, 10 people ahead of us already did it. We take forever to make decisions, and we give up on our decisions like that. So most people do the opposite. We make decisions slowly, and we give up and change really quickly. We want to switch that around. We want to make decisions quickly and take a lot of time to decide if we're going to make any changes. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully if you just take away one thing, other than the omega-3s, take away this one piece. It's really, really important to stick to that decision. So I hope you've been inspired, like I said, educated, learned some things. I use absolutely no expectation for anything. I love what I do. I love to share, and I love to teach. But if you do want to get involved, or you want to learn more, you want to contact me, I'm just going to share how you can do that. Or if you want to let anyone else know who you think might be interested in either Thinking Into Results or Arbonne, I'm happy to talk to people. So the way to get involved is, for Thinking Into Results, I do a free 45-minute consultation. And that's where I really will dig in and try to learn a bit about where you want to go, what's holding you back, try to help shape a little bit of your goals, and we can hopefully uncover some of your paradigms in that little consultation. And then I'll share a little bit more of some of the options. Absolutely no obligation. It's just a little sharing session, and I'll hopefully help you right off the bat. And then if you do want to learn more, then we can talk about that. So if you want, you can contact me, NicoleKernohan.com/contact, or any other means if you have my contact information. And then for Arbonne, so if you're interested, if any of those 30 Days to Health products or anything there was of interest to you, I'm so absolutely passionate about it. It's funny, I never thought I'd get so excited, but I really do love this product and this company. If you are interested in anything, again, there's 4 ways you can get involved. One is a retail client, so if you want to just 1 or 2 items and you just want to pay regular price, whatever you see on my website, that's the regular price, or on any website, but that's the regular Arbonne price. The next way is to become a preferred client. So it's a one-time fee of $24, but you get 20% off everything you purchase today, this week, and all year. So usually that's the best place, because if you're, well, for example, if you were to spend $200 anytime over the whole year, you'll save $40. So you'll offset that $24 really quickly. But and it's up to you. It's just so you understand what that option is. And then the other thing is that 30-day pack, you actually get 40% off when you're a preferred client. So that definitely is a value if you're going to look at the whole entire package. The third way is to host a demonstration. So if you live in a general vicinity, I physically can come, and as you can see, I'm very passionate. I can either do the spa products, because Arbonne has a whole skincare line, so we do facials and all sorts of fun things, or healthy living demonstrations, so sharing some of these nutrition tips and products, and we can sample things. Or I can even do webinar-based ones. So if you have a group of people for some reason that that want to learn a bit some of this stuff, I'm happy to do a free demonstration. If you're a host for an event, you get, there's different price points, but you can get up to 80% off and get something free. So there's definitely some perks for the host if you are interested in doing that. And then the last way is to become a consultant like me. So if you want to share this and you think it's great and you love it, you want to share with others, then you can become a consultant. You get 35% off everything and 50% off of the packages, but and it's $95 one time for the year to get that. And you don't have to sell it. You can do that even if you just want to get the discount, but that does give you the option if you want to share with others, then that's how you get it. Okay, so for a free consult or to order Arbonne, you can contact me the same way, NicoleKernohan.com/contact, or again, any other means of contact if you know me. I've also listed my website here, NicoleKernohan.arbonne.ca. I'm happy to do a free consult and help you through it, so you don't have to feel like you have to just go to the website, but if you want to browse, feel free to do that. Okay, so I do have one extra bonus. Free bonus. I'm excited. And I'm sharing this with a couple people who aren't even on today. So I'm excited to share this. So this, do you want to hear it? Okay. So I'm going to be offering for the next 3 weeks, so you have time, but a free 30 days to health package. So all those products that I talked about today for any new Thinking into Results clients who sign up and sometime in the next 3 weeks for the 6-month program. So again, we can do a free consult and 45-minute consult and share about it. But this is just something I like to give back because I believe so much in this material and this Thinking into Results. It has absolutely changed my life and my clients' lives. I wanted to offer a little bonus, and you kind of get all those products if you are interested in doing the full program. So happy to help. And I think that's all. That's all. So it's been 8:37. Nice. I think the information said that it's 90 minutes. I try to keep it less than that just to keep the excitement and entertainment going and not go on for too long. Hopefully you got a lot of information, excitement, inspiration, motivation, looking forward to making some shifts in your life. Feel free to contact me if you do want a free consult or if you have any questions at all. I'm happy to help. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'm just going to check quickly. Whoopsies, sorry. Check quickly if there were any contacts. Okay, I do see some chats. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Oh, sorry, I did see a comment here. Apologize, Brooke. I saw a comment here. It said, what are your thoughts on fake it until you make it? For example, fake confidence. So this was back when we were talking about thinking into results. But yes, that is a really good point. And that's totally what I recommend. That is what we want to do. We have to do that. We have to become it in our mind and believe it in our heart, become that person in our imagination before we physically become that person. So I am a huge supporter of fake it till you make it. I'm all about that. That's what we're working towards here. Yeah, and practice, nothing wrong with it. Yes, definitely a lot of practice. I'm just reading some of the comments here. I think we're good. Okay, perfect. So I think that hopefully I got everything there, got all your questions and comments. But have yourself a lovely evening. Thanks so much for coming on, and hopefully we'll chat again soon. Have a good night.